My ladies, you've got to join me on the Body Breakthrough Club. What is that? That is my private Facebook group just for you. It's where we get together as like-minded women that want to have a breakthrough with our bodies. Hello. So it's where we lose our belly, not our mind. I'll say that again. We lose our belly, not our mind, but we master our mind to lose our belly. So in the Body Breakthrough Club, you'll find me there. I post all my tips and tricks, some nourishing foods that you're going to want to eat. I've got supplements that you're going to want to take. I've got tips and tricks on some things that I do behind the scenes that I don't tell just everybody. So go in there, join us at the Body Breakthrough Club on Facebook. It's private. I do have to approve you, but it's a lot of fun. We're building it strong, and all my goodies will be in there. Some of the exercises are there. Some of our past 5-day challenges are in there. So don't miss out. Just join us. It's free. You can meet some friends. There's a lot of networking. I found a lot of the women in there have done business with each other. So you can network, sell, get your message out, and also learn a thing or two. So join me there. Body Breakthrough Club. Be strong, be fierce, and what? Be you. Boom. Boom! Be strong, be fierce, and be you. Boom. Welcome to the Power Hour. We've got another episode, and I believe this is episode, yes, let's hear it. This is episode 20, you guys. Wow, how time has flown. But you know what? Every week, I try to bring some amazing guests that have some information that's going to help you to raise your mindset, your level of fitness, your level of health, wellness, all of that. And today is just like no other. I've got an expert, you guys. Yeah, she's certified. She's a health and wellness coach. She speaks on functional fitness. Now, people have asked me, well, what is functional fitness? So we're going to ask her. Yes, her name is Judy Hahn, and she's from Hahn Holistic Health. And I met her, actually, I've never met her, but I was introduced to her through networking. So the power of networking, you guys, we'd like to talk about that quite a bit. We had Robbie Motter on last week, who's like the queen who knows everyone. And she talks about the power of the ask and just showing up. Well, that's so important. And Judy here was referred to me by a dear friend of mine who was also on the Power Hour. I believe she was episode 2 or 3, something like that. Diana Sabatino from E-Women Network. And she put us together. She's like, you know, Lauren and Judy, I think you can share a lot of information to your audience. You share the same mindset. We want to get people healthy, happy, and wealthy, right? But remember, without your health, what is your health? I say this all the time because I really want people to go deep with that and really stop and think about that, because so many women professionals I work with are so busy building their wealth that they forget about themselves. So today is extra special because Miss Judy Hahn here has some secrets, some tips on how to basically optimize your health. I'm going to ask her some questions that I want to know personally, some about sugar. So stay tuned. Don't miss out. If you guys can go in the chat and let us know where you're from. She's here. We're going to have questions. We're going to have a Q&A as well throughout the show. Please comment, send us hearts, likes. Let us know, how we can inspire you, motivate you, answer some of your health questions. She is the queen of functional fitness. I'm the queen of faith and fitness, putting faith first. Yes, faith. and then your fitness and health. So I want to bring her on because I want to know some of these answers personally as well. So let's bring her to the stage, Miss Judy Hahn. There she is.
Hi. Thanks, Lauren.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, welcome. This is the first time I ever even get to see you.
Actually, we met at
Oh,
online last year. The wonderful thing that happened for me about COVID
okay.
was that I got to visit all sorts of chapters of eWomen, and
Right.
I was at a number of the Orange County meetings.
Oh, okay.
So,
Fabulous. That's how
yeah,
you know Diana, our fearless leader.
sure.
Now,
Uh-huh.
what network are you from? What
I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I live in a suburb. I'm
okay.
very active in the Milwaukee and the Madison area.
Okay.
Madison's just an hour and a half away, so I do a lot between both of them.
Perfect. Good for you. Two
Yeah.
for one, right?
Yep. Yep.
Even,
And like I say, I've been
even
all over
virtually.
the state. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you got to
fun.
fly around to all the chapters.
Yeah. Via Zoom.
Via Zoom. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this down because I have another fabulous mic here, as long as my audio is okay. But yeah, let's just jump right into this because I mentioned that you specialize in functional fitness. I do have a dear friend that's in that as well, so I know a little bit, enough to make me dangerous. But you are the expert. You are certified in these areas, and so let's talk about that. Like, what does that actually mean, Judy? If I was, just
okay. Well,
hi, Caprice. Judy met you too. Caprice Cabrar's on here.
Oh, Caprice. Hi. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Caprice.
Nice.
Welcome to the show.
Actually, I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and I'm trained in functional medicine. So I'm not medical, but I have been for the last 4 years in a program that is something that doctors can also take. And functional medicine is really interesting, very different from what we're used to. If we're used to the Western medicine, you walk in, doctor in a white coat, he says, this is what you've got and this is what you take. Right
to that
and I usually look at him and stick my tongue out at him and go, no, bye.
No. I'm not taking that in this body, right?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. And so really, when you look at functional medicine, it is science-based, but it is based on all the systems of the body and how they are interconnected. Where if you think of Western medicine, everybody is siloed. If you have a problem with your thyroid, you go to an endocrinologist. If you have a problem, you're constipated, you go to a gastroenterologist. When in fact, functional medicine says, look, that thyroid is talking to your gut and to your digestive system. So we need to look at how they're tied together. So that's really your first, that's really your first idea of functional medicine. And then one of the other things is it's why. I call it the why medicine. In other words, like I said, the doctor says, what do you got and what are you going to take? And I go, you have indigestion. Why do you have indigestion? Let's figure that out.
Right, the root of the problem, not just
exactly.
And take a pill.
You hit the nail on the head, right? It is all about the root cause. And so it's also, I mean, think about the doctor. You go in, your heart's pounding because, he's here and you're here. Well, our system is one of collaboration and one of personalization. So every program I do is customized for that specific person. Everybody is unique.
That's
you treat the individual rather than the disease.
And
I want to know what the doctor told you have because that gives me lots of data. But from there, you tell me what's going on and let's move forward from there. So it's really a partnership and it's patient. I suppose you could just call it patient-centric rather than doctor-centric, right?
Got it.
And another piece of it, I think, that is truly very different is the fact that...
Which Millie has something to say.
That's so funny because I have my dogs at the other end of the house just in case. Is the idea of bio-individuality. You can eat something or take something and it's going to react completely differently for you than it does for me. And then you look at lifestyle, you look at the whole person, because when I work with somebody, it is truly the holistic idea. It's balancing body, mind, and spirit. It is not
Speaking my
just
language,
your
girlfriend.
body.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know what, Judy,
And
before I forget, I have a train of thought real quick because I do have a
what's
good
that?
friend in functional fitness, and she was sharing with me because she has so many solutions to different symptoms and diseases and issues, but it's like she was the last resort. It's like people end up coming to her when they've exhausted all the Western doctors, and I'm like, you know what? Because they're not educated. That's why I wanted you on the show because I believe so hard, wholeheartedly that there's always other ways. And instead of being the last resort, I think you should try you first. You know what I mean? And then before you
Well,
get the prescription drugs and all these things with the side effects.
absolutely.
If you watch the commercials, I
Oh
was
my God. Don't
my
even go there. Don't even
right.
go there.
I know I don't want to get in trouble with but it's so true. I'm just telling the general audience, just listen to those side effects. They're worse than the chief complaint and the symptom to begin with. It's like, why would you take this when you only have this, and then you have risk of, blindness and vomiting and death and all these crazy things.
Yeah.
And they say it with such joy. It's so funny. Like the people are skipping through with their
Oh yeah, or riding on their bike with little kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all brilliant marketing. And so don't let the marketing fool you guys. I mean, if you're listening to this and you have any of these ailments and stuff, don't wait till the last resort. Really look into some other alternatives, and maybe it might be a better way to go, right? I mean, I'm sure you've healed and have testimonials like crazy of different people that have come to you with their unique situations, a lot of leaky gut. I mean, I hear all these things too,
Sure.
thyroid issues and all these things, and people are just, oh, well, the doctor told me to take these pills. And I'm like, and then what are the side effects? Well, I have this and my hormones unbalanced. Like there's all these crazy things that happen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, get back to the root of what
Right.
caused it in the first place. And I think that's so great that what you're doing and that you have so much knowledge in this area. So keep
Well, and
going.
I think that yeah. Well, okay. So we looked at we want to talk about food as medicine, right? You're big on
Absolutely.
what people put in their bodies, right?
Big
The
fan.
environment that they live in,
Mm-hmm.
both emotionally, physically, those people that they surround themselves with. It's all part of the big picture.
Absolutely.
And then maybe we have some food sensitivities. Who knows?
That we don't know about.
But the important thing is that one of the really interesting things that I was taught in school is to begin with each client and have beginner's mind. So even if you have a client that came to you yesterday and had a thyroid problem,
Start
you
over.
have to, exactly, because the two bodies are different.
That's right.
You could have 10 people in a room who have diabetes, and every single one of them will have a different root cause.
Yeah, isn't that something? Our bodies.
It,
I coach on these things as well, and more on the the physical and mental fitness part. But yeah, I said the same thing, and especially when we talk about the diet, the D word. That some people, oh, I do keto or I do this or that, and people are dying from keto. I mean, it's not for everybody because it depends on you. So I'm like, your body. I don't know how you feel. So you have to communicate. Your body tells you exactly, if you listen, what's going on. When you say that is like a pretty bold, profound statement. Your
right.
body talks to you when you've got something going on, even in physical fitness. Like if your shoulder hurts, maybe it's radiating from the neck, or what I mean. There's always back to the root, and it's so critical, you guys, that just don't be just jumping to a doctor and take this pill. I think Elizabeth Harper had a comment on that. She used to do what you do. Yeah, 100% true. She used to be holistic health practitioner. And yeah, she finds that people go to the chemicals first. And I believe, it's my personal belief, that it should be last. That should be your last resort.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But at the same time, there's a couple of things that I've learned, and it's people like you who take the time, because I think of myself more almost as an educator than a health practitioner. Yeah, I spend 20, 30, 40, 50 hours researching and looking at everything. But my goal is to be able to help you find a solution, but educate you so that going forward, your life is no longer the same. And I have a little formula. It's awareness plus action plus accountability equals the transformation you want.
Boom.
That's it, right?
I agree.
So,
I have a 3-step too. Decide, make a commitment, and take action. And then, of course, when you're with the programs, it's all accountability and building
right,
community and showing up. It's all
sure,
the same, whether you're dealing with your physical illness or health or your mental health. It's the same thing. It's all those
right.
steps are applied to both. So it's all connected, you guys. And if you're listening to Judy, I mean, we're going to go a little bit deeper in some of these things, but it's so true. And I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and I always say, honor your body. You know what's going on inside your body. It's different than my body. Foods affect me differently. That's going to affect you. Different supplements affect you. So you really have to listen. And I can almost mind manipulate my body to look a certain way for photo shoots and commercials and things like that I get thrown into, and I have a day's notice to get ripped up. So it's a lifestyle, like you said, and I totally believe in that. And it's even the people that surround you and the energy that surrounds you and your faith and all these things come into such play that people don't realize how. And I want to talk about stress and what you feel about that as well, because
Oh my, that's one of
right?
my biggies. Yeah, that's
Okay,
one of my
I
biggies.
didn't even know that, but
And
it
yeah,
should be, because it's such a
well,
big factor, especially
and
in health.
well, and I go back to the talking of interconnectedness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that people don't realize, and I guess, if we go back to the idea that I was going to talk about optimal health, and
Yes.
it's not being complicated. Let's
Yes. That's my
discuss
next
that.
question. How
Yeah.
do you uncomplicate it? Make
Yeah.
it
Well,
easy.
you know,
Your
you
steps for
want to
one.
you want to look at really kind of three things. You want to maximize the things that are going to help any given person be healthy:
Okay.
air, water, minerals, fats, and all those kind of things. And
Okay.
even the positive belief system in
Oh,
that what you're doing is correct, right?
boom. Thank you.
And then you
I say
want
it
to
all the time.
minimize the things that are a problem for any given person. So you're dealing with, oh gosh, the garbage food, the stress, the toxicity, the unhealthy fat,
Mhm.
the you name it, the negative thoughts, and all of those things that make it up. And the third piece is really nothing more than learning to be able to prioritize the environment that will allow your body to do what it does best, which is to heal itself. I mean,
We're
people do
machines.
not give the body enough credit,
Credit.
right?
The
That
same
if
thing.
exactly, if you give it the right environment,
Who knows what to
I'm
do?
I guess I'm never really amazed, but at the same time I kind of am. When and sadly so, is somebody will talk, and I hear it everywhere, because once you hear
Oh,
everything
yeah.
everybody's talking about. And somebody will talk about that they had cancer, and I feel terrible for anybody who's ill. But
Sure.
at the same time, there was an environment
That
that
caused it.
created that.
That's right.
And sometimes it's like, well, I was perfectly fine, and then boom, the doctor told me I have cancer. Well, hello, let's back up a second,
That's
and
right.
let's
All of a
look
sudden.
at the previous 10 to 20 years of
Good.
what we've done and what we've put in our body and everything else. And I'm not talking just about cancer anymore. The information on uh,
Diabetes.
diabetes that
Mhm.
I've been reading about lately, because this is, I'm a recovering sugar addict. Okay, let's fess up. Let's be transparent.
Right. I
I
love
have
it.
I have the dad who tried to make me eat oatmeal when I was a kid by taking a Hershey bar and shaving it
Vegan
on
ice
top of it. Okay, so
camouflage.
you can see the environment I grew up in. Everything was
Candy
a
coated, literally.
reward, right? If
Literally.
you were happy, it was food and candy. If you were sad, food and candy. If
Candy.
you were frustrated, didn't matter. So, I'm an adult that is a recovering sugar addict. But what people don't realize is that there's almost no disease that I can think of. And really, body doesn't have disease. It all starts out as what we call dis-ease.
Ease.
Right. And so that awareness that you're talking about, Lauren,
Mhm.
that's, you know, we have created for ourselves the new norm, which is we hurt and the doctor tells us it's because we're getting older. Okay. We have the new norm of being stressed, not just a little bit, chronically stressed. Oh, but I'm used to that. And you know what? My day, you should hear what my day, if you think your day was bad, you, what is it? A contest? A badge
Compare,
of
right?
honor?
Competing.
Right. So
How much
all
stress
of
you get.
that, the body is amazing and it can handle stress, right?
Hmm.
But that is episodic stress.
But there's a price to
That is right. That was when the caveman walked out and the saber-toothed tiger was there and his body went, oh my God, fight or flight,
pay. Yeah,
right?
mm,
We are constantly in fight or flight mode. Now,
absolutely.
you understand this, but most people don't. Stress, and let me talk about that because you mentioned
Yes.
it.
Yes.
That fight or flight mode, that stress for the caveman, let me use him as an example, was great because what happens is glucose, because you need energy, right?
Right.
Glucose goes pouring through the body so that your muscles tighten and have energy and everything, digestion stops, reproduction stops, everything else stops so you can flee.
Okay.
But now put us in modern society. It's your boss. It's the guy who cut you off
The
at the
freeway.
stoplight. It's somebody who said something bad. It's your in-laws. It's your, and that little bit of stress has now gone up and up and up, and that is your new norm. And so that glucose, it's a glucose insulin thing.
Sure.
Glucose is going pouring through your body all the time, in your cells normally they're cool, they're like, oh, we need energy, so let glucose, oh yeah, come on in this cell, we need some energy, right? And
Right.
then the
Cool.
cell goes, oh my God, I
Right.
can't take it anymore,
Mm.
I'm not taking any more of that glucose, you go do something else with it. Well, here's the problem. The glucose, when it can't go anywhere, goes directly to the liver,
Mm.
where it is stored as fat.
We said that
And
together,
not only is it stored as fat, but it's converted into saturated fat.
which is no bueno.
Right, exactly. We all know saturated fats are the devil's advocate at this point.
Hmm.
But this is not even somebody not eating properly. This is just your
Stress
stress
level.
level that's
Yes.
doing this.
Has nothing to do with your nutrition.
Right. Now we're looking at a lot of people know that when somebody drinks a lot, they could end up with cirrhosis of the liver. And that is really kind of a fatty liver that is not functioning properly anymore.
Right.
Well, we have something and it's going running rampant right now. It's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's very similar to what's happening, but it's because of stress
Lord,
and
yeah.
because of our fascination with bakery goods, and I can vouch for that in my
Fascination.
life. Okay, fascination.
That's hilarious. I've
Um,
never heard that before. That's so
well, think about it.
fascination.
Yeah, it's our
Hi, Diana.
fascination with bakery goods.
That is so funny. Okay. Gotta
Hey,
try
Diana.
everything.
Yeah. So, so we are creating this whole thing, and Elizabeth saying your body stores the negative,
Correct.
absolutely. I know people who like emotionally are so angry
Mm.
and negative and live a fairly healthy lifestyle, but they come up with diseases because when that much of that negative is inside, it's got to come out somehow,
Somewhere. That's right.
right?
And cancer is just mutated cells, really. I mean,
Yes, yes. But you know what? You
It's
know what the
off
best,
sugar, that
I was
fascination
going to
with baked
say,
goods.
do you know what the best food for cancer is?
No,
You
not
could not give it a better food than sugar. That is what it survives
well.
on.
That's what I thought you said
Yeah.
to help cancer. No, I know what
No,
causes
no,
it.
no. That's what it survives
Oh,
on.
I know
No,
sugar.
it
That's what I said. Your fascination with baked goods.
yeah, you're
Sugar.
fast. Exactly.
You're feeding the
So
cancer cells. That's what I mean. You hear so many people curing their cancer, and it's when they just change their diet, their nutrition, what they're putting in, and they can
their
actually
diet and their lifestyle,
in the mind.
because and the mindset, right? It's a package,
Right.
you know. I tell people you can eat organic from morning till night. And if your mindset is down in the dumps,
You're in trouble.
you're right. And also, you have to understand. I have a friend of mine who said to me one day, "Well, I don't understand. I eat organic food. Everything I eat is organic." And I said, "Well, and that's great. And I see that you've really been working on
Yeah,
yourself and your mindset, and that's all. But you have to understand that just because you put that in your body doesn't mean that your gut
it's
is
detox.
in a state to be able to digest and absorb those things, right?
Mm,
So organic is great, but there's a lot of other stuff that has to go with it to keep you healthy.
right. That's not the end all be all answer.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, it helps. It's one of the pieces, like you said. It's a whole, and your whole topic is, complicated why is it optimal health complicated? Like, how would you break it down? I know you said awareness and accountability, and being aware of your nutrition. I talk about the same thing. It's because the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the food we
Yes.
eat is not like it was when you and I were young. It's just not. I'm
Right.
glad we grew up when we did, because we've got when you ate a meal, it was nutritious, like a real
Yes.
salad was real. And a
Exactly.
chicken was real, like everything was real good food, and it tastes different. Now you have to have hacks to figure these things out. How to get the
Well,
water. I have a
and
4,000 water machine.
I think that if you look at the three big subjects that people need to look at, I call them crap, food, toxins, and stress.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Because our whatever the food is, if it's highly processed, the gut doesn't recognize it as food, it recognizes it as a toxin.
toxin.
It's
Yeah.
loaded with refined carbs, it has fructose, it has inflammatory fat.
It's a
It
disaster.
might it increases, right, it increases stress in your body. and
Mhm.
and then and there's what, little to no nutrients in it,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Lots of calories. I mean, calories galore,
And
but
people wonder why they have that
nutrients,
belly fat. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
from all those things you just said.
Right.
The
And then
stress.
you look at the toxins, and people, so when we talk about toxins, we're talking about, like you said, air and water, and the food has
Food.
less minerals and stuff. But here's another piece that people forget: the skin is the largest organ of your body. So
Correct.
you have to start looking at what are the personal care products you're using? What are the
Yeah.
household products you're using? I mean, one of our biggest toxins in the world right now happens to be glyphosate. It's Roundup. It's what they spray on all the fields,
Right. Our
right?
pesticides. Yeah. It's
and
horrible.
and so you can start to do things better, but toxins, you don't realize they deplete nutrients. I mean, even women who are on birth control pills, do you realize that they deplete specific nutrients in your body, that
Mhm.
your body recognizes? Who told you you should have hormones in your gut? I mean, really. But the toxins
We're
increase the.
conditioned on these things.
Yeah, of course, because that's what life's
Doctor says.
been. And
Yes.
that's why you
Commercial.
and I are here to be the disruptors,
Correct.
right?
Yes. We
That's
are
we are
disrupting,
the
right?
the deviant health people.
Well, because we're trying to
So
help people. I think our intentions are to help people, give them knowledge. Like you said, you call yourself an educator,
yeah,
and I do as well. Even when I'm coaching people on their physical fitness, I break it down. Why these things? What certain exercises? Why the angles? And all these little minute changes. I explain why, so they can understand. I mean, and it makes logical sense, and then they apply it. And so that I train people so they can train on their own. They're not dependent on me.
Exactly.
That's through
My
education.
idea is to
Yeah.
wean people off of me.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
need a quarterly check-in, okay, or you
Right,
want to do a maintenance plan, okay. But my goal is to get to as many people, to help as
right.
many people as possible,
Volume.
not to keep you chained to me, right?
That's right.
But I think part of that education is so that people understand that, you hear stress and stress is bad, but I talk about what stress really does to your body so that you understand why it's now or never that you change that.
Right. I
I talk
absolutely.
about toxins and how they impair your metabolism to be working properly. They impair your detoxification functions.
Absolutely.
They create oxidative stress in your body. It's
All
just,
just wonderful things,
whew.
not.
Now, are we all going to go in a hole somewhere and
Well, no, there's good news, you guys. This is not all
yeah.
doom and gloom.
No, I'm
This
just
is just
teasing.
facts. Well,
I'm
it's
just
just.
teasing.
Well, I think people believe, they understand, they know that the food is not nutritious like it used to be. We never had fast foods and stuff like we do today. Everybody's in a hurry,
Mm-mm.
and the air is, obviously not clean. The water is not the thing. Vicky Moore just asked, "What's the best water to drink?" I was just starting to say I have one of those water machines under my sink because I'm a big advocate of water, and I can drink 3 or 4 gallons of water a day because that's my drink of choice with a little lemon, or I put some, metabolism stuff in there, or whatever. I mix it all up. However, and it's a 9.5 alkaline water. I believe that disease can't grow in an alkaline state. And so I like to keep my body alkaline. So that's what to answer Vicky's question, that's what I personally drink as alkaline water. It's very common. They call it smart water or essential or what. There's different brands now in the store.
Right, exactly.
And
Yeah.
there's a reason for it. But again, it's in the plastic bottles and all these things. I mean, but you can try. There's always ways. There's efforts. But I think it's
Just don't leave the plastic bottle in the car
in the sun.
when
Yes.
you go in the sun because the plastic leaches. Other than that, if you're going to drink that liter, drink the liter, but don't chug it because you need to drink slowly during the entire day for it to be able to enter in the cells.
Right.
Otherwise, it stays in the external, so it's not internal to your cells.
Want to
Not
penetrate
the
the
mid,
cellular
right. We want it to be
right.
inside the cell. Exactly.
To hydrate.
I
Hydration is
I
just
drink smart water myself.
okay.
We have a reverse osmosis system in the house, but I
Great.
tell anybody who has reverse osmosis, you need to either then use electrolytes or trace minerals to add to your water,
Gotcha.
or get a system that has remineralization because you do not want to always have everything taken out. We still need those things that are natural, except for the pollutants. Right.
I hate to
Yeah.
imagine that. Right.
Yeah.
Um. So, like, if you were to say a formula for optimal health, how would you lay that out? If
Formula
doing it
for
this whole
optimal
time, but
health.
just because people, they want this complicated, so that's the topic of,
Right.
our
Well,
show today.
you know, uh, optimal health for any given person is going to be different. We have to understand that to begin with, right?
Right.
But it here the simple version of it
Yeah. Let's not
is
complicate it.
because people always go, well, I have pre-diabetes. What should I eat? Somebody, all the I don't know if you ever saw it, but there was a smackdown on Joe Rogan between two health people, and I mean, they're two very bright men, and they
Mhm.
were fighting each other about which one of their diets was the right one. Well, hell, no diet is right for everybody.
Correct.
The low fat, the vegan, the keto, the
A
this,
keto, right?
you know
Intermittent
it,
fasting. All there's so many
yeah,
different things.
intermittent fasting has possibilities. That of all of them, I think has some
More volume of people.
more
Yeah.
valid, yeah, for the way the body works. But what's the most important thing is and I use diet not as go on a diet, because when you go on a diet, the first thing you think of is when do I go off of it? We're
Right.
talking about diet in the lifestyle going
Nutrition part of
forward kind of thing, right?
it.
So what is it? It's what people can find that they can afford, that they can prepare, that they can palate, that they can sustain with pleasure, with
Sustain. Yes.
commitment,
Yes.
and then that, of course, reduces the sugar in their bodies, the body fat, and is promoting health of the organs, especially if we're talking about
Okay.
diabetes or pre-diabetes. One of the things that I didn't mention before is that glucose that goes to the liver then becomes fatty liver.
Hmm.
Well, the liver will sit there fatty for years, and the pancreas will take over, chugging along and throwing out more insulin so that that person's balance stays
Hmm.
until they get fatty pancreas.
Then you're in
And
trouble.
now the glucose level goes up, and now the doctor starts to see it. You see, it's not always going to happen that fast. And so, really, all you have to do is find the solution, eat as healthy as possible. Diana, I hate to tell you, leave the breads out,
I know,
but
right?
you know how hard this is for me? I got news for you. I could live on bread and stuff. That's the old me. And
And
you
sugar.
know,
And
yeah,
you
well, sugar for sure. I mean, I could just like forget everything else and give me a spoon and a
fascinated with sugar.
quart of ice cream. Yeah, right. Um,
I'm going to ask you about that
but
too, because that's a biggie, the sugar.
yeah, yeah.
I want to hear
But
personally. I love my
uh,
desserts.
it what we have to do is find a way to be able to create probably 80 to 90% of the time that really healthy, focused on whole foods. When you go shopping, shop in the perimeter of the store, forget the inside of the store, learn how to read labels. I
Mm-hmm.
have a document, it has 61 words that are used for sugar. Six,
Diana's a
Diana,
comedian today on our show.
bread and water, bread, butter, and water.
Brendan.
Okay, well, we've moved to ghee a lot of the time, but at the same, my husband doesn't mind it, but I like my butter. So if I'm going to have a sweet potato, maybe I'll have a little butter on it. You know,
Okay.
it's all about balance. It
Absolutely.
really is,
Talk about
because if we never give ourselves those things that we want, we'll never get healthy because then we're going to go crazy eating them,
that's
right?
binge out. Yeah. Oh
Right,
yeah.
binge
Oh,
out,
yes.
exactly.
I coach
So
on.
allow yourself a little something here and there. And
Thank you.
90%, 8 to 90%, 80 to 90% of the time, eat whole foods, hydrate, drink at least half your body weight in ounces. Sleep, sleep.
Huge.
You know, there's a lot of things that happen in the body at 11 p.m. and later.
Well, each
So
hour in Chinese medicine, right, is attached to
exactly.
an organ,
Yeah.
and the
Like
later.
if ladies wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, that's very common in Chinese medicine to that they see that, and actually in functional medicine we see that too. But one of the things that I have to say, and this is just me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So stop looking at Dr. Google for answers,
Dr. Google.
because because Dr. Google will give you any answer you want to have as the
Here.
correct answer.
Yes, there you
All
go.
right. And stop
Makes sense.
taking every supplement that somebody says is a good supplement to take, because most of them that are out there are not. And
Correct.
you probably, if you eat whole foods, take
Mhm.
some basic supplements, because we don't have a pharmacy in our left butt cheek. If we need some vitamin B6, you can't go, oh, come on up now, right?
Yeah,
So there are certain things you have to take,
you're funny.
right? But
Yes.
stop doing that stuff. Talk to somebody, talk to me, talk to somebody who does what I do. You don't have to talk to me, but
Right.
find somebody who will have a conversation with you so that you can get an idea. I, I'm, I talked to a lady, honestly, I talked to a lady, I'm sorry.
I know it gets frustrating because people are so. Yeah,
No,
let's
you don't have to give it all up, Diana. No, because you come and kill me, honey.
check
Um,
cheek supplements.
yeah.
I love that. That's pretty funny.
So, but um, it's it's really important. And so I was starting to say there was this woman who
Yeah.
came to me and wanted to be a client. And, you have to accept the right client. And no matter how much she wanted to work with me, I couldn't work with her. I would have probably been the 10th
But
provider that she had gone to.
exactly.
And
That's what I started. I said earlier that they try everything
right,
and
but
everything.
but right, it wasn't even that somebody couldn't necessarily give her the right. It was that she decided they weren't the right answers.
That's
Right?
right. She didn't
I'm
want to
like,
do the work.
hello. And then she told me what her counter looked like. She
Uh,
said, I have a pharmacy here in my kitchen. I'm like, oh my God,
well,
you're
that's your first
killing yourself.
problem. That's the first problem, right?
Right. Do
Yeah.
you know, remember that liver that I was talking about? That liver is this precious
Poor
gift that
thing.
you
Yes.
have.
Poor liver.
Honestly. And then, you take all these supplements, but you're not thinking about the fact that anything that goes through your mouth is going to get filtered through the liver.
Liver. Yep.
So every one of those supplements is putting stress on the liver that it doesn't need to have.
Toxin it out.
Exactly. So it's really, I really want
People
people
don't
to.
know. People just don't know. They
I
just think that's
know.
the thing to do. And the more, sometimes more is better, and to try everything. And my pantry looks like a GNC or vitamin shop as well, because everybody sponsored me and gave me everything. But I've limited
Oh,
it all down to one thing, my supplement based on my DNA. So it's custom for me because my body's different than your body. That's different from all my clients. You know what I mean? So I'm unique in my DNA. We're all different. So that's
right,
what I
right,
believe in. And I believe every day that I'm giving my body exactly what it needs to the actually microdose based on genetics and science and no guesswork. It's not blind nutrition.
right.
That's
Well,
what
and
I learned.
and depending on what's going on in a person's body,
Correct.
we need to look at, very targeted supplements as kind of triage, right? First step so that we can work on getting to the root cause of the real problem.
Right.
And
Great.
then, and let me tell you, anybody who, and this is another friend of mine, she worked 6 months with a woman, doctor of Oriental medicine. She was a former chiropractor out in Arizona somewhere. And I know she saved her life because the woman was yeah, she
Yeah.
was not well.
Okay.
But when she finished with the woman in 6 months, she was still on 14 supplements.
Uh,
And when I looked at them, a lot of them were like duplication. I said, if you're still on 14 supplements, my word is that
something's
person
wrong.
never found your root cause.
Yeah. Band-aid after band-aid, one on top of the other. And sometimes if you don't know, things cancel each other out.
Exactly.
Right? You're maybe
Exactly.
taking one thing and then it negates the other. So you're taking two things that don't even do zero. So you
Well,
really have
and
to
then
learn this stuff.
another scary thing that happens is that not only do things cancel each other out, but very often when we're looking at minerals or electrolytes, they actually, I, I, I don't want to say they work in harmony, but for example, a vegetarian that says that they eat really healthy, if they've not talked to someone who has some knowledge, they might be very copper heavy as far as
Mm,
their
mineral.
minerals in their body. And that in itself can create problems. Zinc and copper work together.
Okay.
Sodium and potassium work together. And in my world, when I see those things, I mean, I can look at a lab test of
Sure.
somebody, and there's this. I think it's one of the liver enzymes. It's called alkaline phosphatase. If I see that number is wrong, I know immediately this person is zinc deficient.
Okay.
And I mean, there is so much information to be had from that blood work, but I want people to understand
That
if you
range,
don't,
the range,
well,
that's
if you
so,
don't mind that I address that, because,
I don't mind because it's true. The range
well,
is
here,
so generic. It doesn't,
no, what it is it's statistical to the people in the area. It is the standard deviation or whatever they call it. It is just a range
right?
that doesn't really tell you much. So that's why people call me um, it's not only in your head health expert, because people, they go to the doctor, they feel like crap.
Right.
The doctor looks at their blood work,
Says you're
and and
normal.
and and this is thyroid a lot of times. Looks
Sure.
at your TSH and goes, "Oh, you're fine."
You're normal.
And the woman says, "But I'm miserable. I'm depressed." "Oh, I'll write you a script for antidepressants."
Oh,
I'm like, "Excuse me." First of all, the doctors use a range that is not for optimal health.
that's right.
It is statistical. So, for instance, if we talk about, let's go back to the diabetes because I'm big on sugar right now.
Yes.
And
Should be.
if you go to the doctor and the doctor goes, "Oh, your A1C is 5.7, you're fine." I got news for you. Optimal is about 4 to 4.5. If you're at 5.3,
You're
you
way.
are already on your way there. At 5.7, you better find somebody who will work with you because you need help before something really goes bad in your body. So, you know, it's just so the functional medicine world uses uh, physiological numbers as their reference ranges. Sometimes they fall in the range of the Western medicine, and
Sure.
most of the time they're somewhere around there, but they're different. And you know, I mean, think about it. You could go to the doctor, and the doctor could look at your let's say your A1C, and you're at 5.5. And the next time you go to the doctor, your A1C is at 5.6. But the doctor's like, "You're fine. You're fine. You're still not out of the range. Don't worry about it. Just you might want to change a little bit about what you eat, maybe a little bit more exercise. Don't spend any time with me to tell me what that means, but tell me just to do it."
Right.
And then the next time you go, you're at 5.8. And now the doc goes, "Oh, you've got diabetes. Let's put you on a statin." I'm like, do you look at the trending of what's going on? Do you pay attention? And when the person is that close, don't you think it's time to have a conversation?
To start, yes, start implementing some information. Yes, but they don't. I know. It's kind of
No, I know it
it's,
is.
they're so
So,
busy. They're not trained that way. Their mindsets are different. They're
well,
trained to
and
write scripts.
do you know where the medical school came from?
No.
Oh, this is brilliant. Carnegie and Rockefeller,
Oh yes, I did hear
way long time ago,
both books.
realized that
Yes.
pharmaceuticals was a great industry to
Great.
be in. And
Yes.
so they funded the medical school.
I did
So,
hear that actually
yeah. So
recently.
how did it
Just
end up? Yeah.
recently. Yes. Isn't that
So
crazy?
that's how it
But it
ended up.
logically makes sense. So that's all the
Oh, of
doctors are
course.
taught. I
Yeah.
think what the
Yeah.
nutrition is like a half a day or something. That's all they're
Right. About 4 hours. You're absolutely correct.
yeah, and that's
Right.
all they're
Right.
trained in. So they don't know the stuff that you know because that's your certifications and that's your schooling and your education and your research and all of that is all these alternative methods that there's other ways. So I mean, if you're not feeling well, there's a reason. Hello, your body's telling you, right? You just have to listen. And some people forget that. They just want to run to the doctor and do what they say and take the pill, fill the scripture
Well,
prescription.
aren't we an immediate gratification society?
Absolutely. Instagram. We want
Yeah.
it now
Give it to me. Give it to me now.
or
This
yesterday.
and so I'm here to say optimal health isn't complicated,
I love that.
but it means that you have to take control and figure out, whole
What's going
food.
on? That's
Yeah.
right.
And you know what? How about sitting down with the family? Do you know when you stand up and eat, like you're going somewhere else, or you eat in your car, you have now created the fight or flight.
Mm,
And when you're in fight or flight mode, the body shuts down
yes.
anything that is not important to escape. You're right. Digestion,
Mm,
reproduction, all of those things get shut off. Why do you think there are women who want to have kids? They try. I mean, obsession beyond belief, right?
right.
That's stress. Stress. What does stress do? That's fight or flight. What does that do? It shuts everything down.
So crazy. but it doesn't have to be complicated. That's
No,
what's
not
so
at all.
exciting. That's
Not
the
at
good news,
all.
everyone. That is the good news, that there are alternative ways and methods and supplementations and different ways of eating, different changing your lifestyle. I think it was Carr that wrote in that, change your lifestyle, change your mind,
Change
change
it.
your health.
Yep.
Yeah, and these are things that, I know you and I are both complete advocates over this. I mean, I preach it every single day,
Yeah.
and that even you mentioned the people that you're that you surround yourself, create your tribe of healthy, positive people that have the same mindset and are on the same goals and want to eat the same way and support a healthy lifestyle and have more maybe knowledge than you do. I love learning. Like, I feel like I'm a sponge, a lot of these things, there's confirmation that you're saying to me. So, because I know you're right on track of what you're saying and really trying to help and educate people that there are other ways. You don't just have to run to the doctor and take what he prescribes or get on these antidepressants and all these things. It's so scary. Like, no wonder people are so whacked out.
Well,
Walking,
it is. Well,
you
and
know,
I think people don't understand. Well, I don't think I know people
you
don't understand that. Um, First of all, 95% of your serotonin is created in your gut, not in your brain.
there you
The
go.
doctors, when they give you antidepressants, are working on the 5% that are in your brain. You see the commercials now? If your doctor prescribed this because you're on an antidepressant, but he feels that this could help, well, yeah, because if, all right, true confessions. I was on an antidepressant and I said, crap on this. I I do not want to be on this. And
Right.
so what did I do? I created a client from myself. And in a 2-year period,
What was
because I
going
got my gut to a level where it was creating the serotonin that I needed
on?
for
Okay.
me, the
So
doctor
good.
said, fine, you don't need this.
So good. I love it. So yeah, and I love that we can cure ourselves. We just can.
Oh,
Body knows,
absolutely.
the body knows what to do, and you hear testimonials all the time of breast cancer survivors, or we meet these people in our travels, and because it's true, but they seek out information. There's so much research and information out there. There's people like you that have the knowledge and expertise, and I know your expertise is in the diabetes with the sugar thing. What's a quick hack for the sugar? Because when I love spicy foods, I love, like, put Cholula on everything, but then I want to crave something sweet after. It's kind of almost a
Oh,
habit. And I
oh,
talked about
well,
this making health a habit, but I'm getting better. I'm better. I'm at least, I'm aware of it. I'm changing my mindset because I know sugar is like the evil.
yeah.
Uh,
But I think that's it, Lauren. You just said it. It's
just
a habit,
it's just a habit, yes. But I like
right?
it. I'm out at
Yeah.
restaurants
And
a lot. And they have fancy desserts, and it's just so fun. I try not to eat the whole thing. I usually, like, we share and do all that kind of thing. So I'm cutting
but
down.
this is what our problem is. And I don't fault anybody. Like I said, I'm a recovering sugar addict, so who knows better than me? But
Right.
but
Do
here's
you
the
not
other
allow
thing.
sugar in your body at all, or like
Right now, no, it's been
every?
almost 2 months. No
Okay,
alcohol, no sugar, dairy free, gluten free. I've done an elimination diet on myself and my poor husband.
I've done that for
But
35 days too. Same thing. Yeah.
here's the thing that happens, and I think people don't realize that when you remove that sugar, and it may take 3 weeks, it may take a little longer, I don't know,
You don't
but
crave it
you
anymore, right?
you will, number one, not crave it, and number two, you will notice how your food tastes differently.
Tastes better, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it actually has a certain sweetness to it that because we're so used to even the even stevia, right, or monk fruit, still is so much sweeter than sugar that we've trained ourselves to want
Mm,
sweet. And then you have a piece of fruit and it's no longer good enough.
it's not satisfying you because you've
Right.
given your
Exactly.
body this other
Now I
crazy
am
stuff.
ecstatic. I have a mango.
I know. I
I
love.
feel like I died and went to heaven.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
appreciate the delicious. You're fascinated with the sugar, the sweetness of the fruit instead of the
I
sugar.
am. I'm fascinated with,
Fascinated.
instead of fascination with bakery, I'm fascination with fruit. But
Fruit
again,
is so great.
everything in moderation. Don't
Yeah, I'm a
overdo the
big fan of
fruit
that.
either.
Yeah, do not deny yourself. And I tell my clients too, give your body grace, give yourself grace. Don't deny something because then you're going to, binge out, like you said, and then your glucose levels and insulin and everything starts freaking out because if you binge out on, brownie or whatever, just, don't deny it, but we have to be happy. And I'm all about being happy, healthy, and wealthy. All three things without
Sure.
sacrificing or denying yourself one or for the other. And did a huge 30-day summit on this and spoke to experts like yourself all over the world on these topics. So I'm very familiar with this, and it's a mindset, and it's not easy. These things are not easy, and we understand that.
No.
You want to seek out an expert if you're having some ailments or something that you know that's not right in your body. You're not at your optimal health, and we all know what that feels like. Don't accept it. I think people just settle, like you said. They just go, "Oh, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do," and then they get used to living in pain. I mean, I live every day trying to stay out of pain and try to be optimal and have the most energy I can have. I feel better today than I did in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. I really do, honestly. I mean, I just go from the minute my feet hit the ground till I go unconscious in bed. I'm like full force every single day. Because of that, it is a lifestyle, and I'm very conscious of what I put into my body. And it's that making health a habit and really just staying positive. There you go. There's your quote. Optimal health isn't complicated. You just need to take control. I love that, Judy. That's so good. We can talk forever on this subject.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Do you have something on sugar hacks or something I think you said?
Oh, no, actually, I'm starting a program.
Okay.
It's
How do people
called
get to work with you or find you? Or I know. There you go.
Actually,
that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, the program isn't on this, but if you go to my website, there is a under work with me, there's reignite your energy and focus. And what I'm doing is reignite your energy and focus, breaking up with sugar in 21 days.
Oh, I love that. What a great
yeah,
there we go. There it is.
Yeah. So it will be me partly there with everybody. I've taken the ebooks and I've created video versions of them so that I share, so I can kind of keep track. We're going to do it just the way I would do a client. In other words, we're going to do a pre-assessment so we know where you're at.
Sure.
Because a lot of these changes are little itty bitty changes, but these little changes add up to a quantum leap.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I'm all with your training. Same thing. Little tiny tweaks make giant differences. And transformation. I like that you used that word earlier. When you do some of these things, your body's going to have a huge breakthrough and go through a transformation. And I'm all about that. Hence, my club is the Body Breakthrough Club.
Right.
And the body and being healthy. And I love the word optimal health because there's a difference between just healthy and then optimal healthy. You know what I mean? And using all these things that Judy's talked about, and I kind of hit the same targets. The mindset and the accountability and the people you surround yourself in the community and staying positive and the limiting self-beliefs and get rid of that self-talk and all of this stuff is so important. People kind of brush it off. And Millie knows. She coaches on positive self-talk.
And it really doesn't matter whether you have a thyroid problem or diabetes. This program, although it's really talks about sugar, it is looking at helping people change their lifestyle and have that support and have that knowledge that's shared with them. Because I work with people who, they are cancer survivors or their thyroid issues or whatever it is. So I wanted to make a program because people ask me about sugar all the time that would intrigue people who were looking for sugar. But anyone who would want to just start to change their lifestyle, I think it's a great way to do it. Lauren will help you with the physical fitness. And
yes, we're a great combo.
And you can work through
this. We're the duo, like Diana said, we're a dynamic duo.
Yeah, we are.
Both ends. And it takes a combination of that. I don't claim to be an expert in everything. I know a lot about a lot of things, but not an expert like you are. And that's why I like to bring people on the show. So if you want to be a guest on the Power Hour, like I had Miss Judy here, go ahead to thepowerhourtv.com/guest. And just like Judy did, you fill out an application. My team looks at it. It gets to me. And, we promote you. It's a great platform if it's in line with what I preach, just like Judy was. If we basically speak the same language. I love it because it's important and it's reality and it's the truth. And we speak solutions. And I think that's the combination here. We talk about solutions. It's not doom and gloom. There's other ways to combat.
No, there's other ways. Just like you said, there's always a way. I think one of the business coaches said, everything is figure outable.
There you go. We'll figure it out. That's right.
Yeah, we will. We'll figure it out.
That's, just don't put a band-aid on these things, you guys. If there's something going on in your body or whatever, you have questions, reach out to Judy, reach out to me. We're here for you. This is, we don't just talk about these things. There's nothing better to talk about. We are here to make an impact and be of service and help you guys. And this is her expertise, and I just love it. Everything she said is just confirmation for me, and things that I coach and preach on the exact same in alignment. Vicki, is very informative. Thanks, Vicki. Yeah, we're here to share, and that these will be on a podcast, you guys. So Judy, this whole thing will be on so many different platforms. There you go, from Apple to Spotify. It's getting the message out, and this is basically just my 20th episode. So thank you for being on my 20th episode.
Well, I'm honored to be on here with you. You're a riot, and it's so nice to meet somebody that
thinks the way you do, right?
Yeah,
I know we got to get everybody to wake up, because again, the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat is not the same. You have to have some knowledge and really at least apply this. Some of the stuff we said, in the better sleep, less stress, more hydration, and eat, the whole foods. Like she said, it's not that complicated, but we just have to think about it, and we have to want it. And I think that's the biggest step, is making a decision that you are worth it. Your body deserves the best. Why not feel the best you can each and every day? You don't have to settle for being sick and have this dis-ease that we've been talking about. You don't have to. Let's cut out the sugar. Let's just change things up a little bit. Just little tweaks here and there. It doesn't have to be drastic all at once, you guys. So if you're listening to this, relax. We got you.
Yeah, take a breath. It's about baby steps.
And we apply all of, our personal knowledge and expertise. And if we don't know the answer, I know we'll find it. I can call Judy now. Now she's in my phone. And hey, Judy, I've got a client that's going through this, any suggestions? And we work with each other, and we collaborate, and we're here to really serve and help people become the best version of themselves from the inside out, right? We are at the top of the hour, honey. I want to respect everyone's time. This is available on replays. Again, if you'd like to be a guest, if you'd like to talk to Judy, her information's there. If you'd like to talk to me further about some of these things, feel free to jump on a call. It's just like Judy does. I have a free assessment call. It's a $500 value, because I dive deep, you guys. I go into some of these things that, about what you're doing, about your stress level, about your lifestyle, about who you're hanging out with, what's going on, what pain you're in, how you want your body to look on the outside. The physical part of it, I can do that in my sleep. I can sculpt and change anybody's body. It's this that we work on. And that's, my expertise is working with other experts and collaborating and making this a change of lifestyle, literally. So I'd love to help you. That was how to get on a free call with me. If you want to be a guest, there's always that way. I'd like to thank my sponsors at this time. There's The Savvy, thesavvy.com, 2Vs, SAVVI.com/fierce females. I've got a whole line of athletic wear that's just fabulous, you guys. You have to see it. It's so comfortable, so fun. It's amazing. I also have the Euphoria. That's the DNA supplement I was telling you about, Judy. I believe in this as well. I have a whole closet full and garage full of supplements, but this is what I take because it's one thing and it's for me. It makes sense to me logically and scientifically. Also, what else I got there? The Live Kaya. This is healthy chocolates. Again, you guys don't have to deny yourself. You might want to look at this. You must know Dorinda from eWomen. Yeah, this is her company. I'm a big fan of this. I love this line of. She's got the probiotics and the burn program. So for some weight loss chocolates again, so you can have that little. That helps, like it's helped me get off, chocolate and that sweet tooth. Instead, I replace it with a little piece of chocolate, and it's that habit thing. It is helping. So I love my Live Kaya. It's amazing, and also the egg whites. I totally believe in getting some protein into your body in the morning and at night. So while you're sleeping, your still metabolism is firing off, and you're not putting your body under stress because it's getting fueling the machine is what I call it. I'm sure you can understand that. Is just feeding the machine. They say, eat smaller portions more often and all those things for, some weight loss and that belly fat. And these are some of the common things that I deal with my clients. So there's answers and there's solutions. And if I don't have it, Judy has it between our network of women that we know are so powerful and knowledgeable. We've got you. We've got your back. So we'd love to work with you. Again, Judy, thank you so much. It was amazing talking with you.
Thanks, Lauren. This really was fun.
Yes. Good information, you guys. Take this. It's on a replay. You want it, again, reach out to us, and we're here for you. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up so we can say be strong, be fierce, and be you. Boom.
Boom.
Thank you so much. Thank you now.